Oh, hi, it's John from Financial MD. Welcome to today's Didactic Minute. Today, I want to answer a question that you've probably had before after you've read through different personal finance blogs, the White Coat Investor, Position on Fire, things like that. You're going to hear a lot of financial advice to invest in index funds inside of your Roth IRA or your 401k. And hopefully today I can explain what an index fund is and why it's important to you, why you get this advice. So if you remember back from our mutual fund video, we talked about a mutual fund is simply a basket of stocks or bonds or whatever that fund is investing in. And when you buy a piece of that fund, you buy a little tiny piece of all those different stocks or companies or whatever. An index fund is simply taking the same concept, allowing you to invest in a widely diversified group of, say, stocks or companies, but it's a lot cheaper on the expense ratios and the fees in that account, in that fund, because they are using somebody else's formula or algorithm. They're just looking at an index and saying, we're going to take all the stocks in those index and invest in those. And when they change the stocks in the index, then we'll change in our fund. And it's a very passive investment strategy. They don't need as many people. They don't need as many super smart, high performance people to pay millions of dollars to, so the fees can be a lot lower in that. Case in point, if we look at like the Vanguard S&P 500 index fund, I think the expense ratio on an annual basis is 0.05%, where a lot of other actively managed mutual funds can be 0.5%, 0.8%, up to 1% sometimes or more, because they're actively managing, looking at companies and stocks and buying and going in and out of these all the time. And so the S&P 500 index fund, for example, that's just looking at the Standard & Poor's 500, which is a list put together by Standard & Poor's that rates the 500 largest or most financially successful companies in the United States and puts them in a list. And then any fund can take a look at that list and pick those stocks, and there you go. You've got an S&P 500 index fund. So you can see the list of all these different companies, and it changes all the time, but it allows you to be invested in the stock market in a very diversified way by being involved in 500 different stocks. So that's why we look at index funds. That's why you hear this advice all the time. Hope that helped. Again, this is John from Financial MD. We'll see you next time.